Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Injustice 2. In this advanced lesson for the game, we are going to be looking at a powerful technique known as restanding. So what is restanding? Well, it's kind of implied by the name. It's a technique where you leave your opponent standing at the end of a combo instead of knocking them down, and you go into a mix-up from this standing state. Why would you want to do this? Well, one of the main reasons is that wake-up attacks are incredibly powerful in this game. A lot of characters have really good wake-ups, there are some that are safe. Yeah, a lot of characters have ridiculous wake-up game. It's invincible. So, if there is a way to prevent your opponent from being able to wake up, you want to take that opportunity. And that's where restands come in handy. There are two types of restands in the game. There are restands that come off of special moves, and there are some characters that have restanding normals, which we'll get into later. The characters that have special moves that have this property are almost always special moves that need to be meter burned. So let's look at Batman, for example. Batman of course has the meter burn grapple, so a standard combo would look something like this. Oops. Excuse my Batman play, I'm not a Batman player, so excuse the shitty combos shit. Well, I didn't mean to do that. We're gonna watch the animation until I explain restands. So that is a normal combo with Batman. You know, deals decent damage, you use the meter burn grapple to basically get the back 3. However, you can also do this. As you saw, the life bar there, or the combo bar, reset. Because what I did is I hit them with a jump 2 after the meter burn forward 3, or I mean down forward 1, the grapple. Hit them with a jump 2, and from there I have enough advantage to go into one of his mix-ups. Because if you look at this move in the moves list, the jump 2, it says hit advantage 18 frames. Now, this doesn't really mean anything, it's just a number, but in general, jumping attacks in Injustice 2 are incredibly advantage on hit. You can always test out this by hitting your opponent, hitting your opponent, going quickly into pause, and setting your opponent's movement to jump. Did you see how long it took him to be able to jump after I hit him? It takes him such a long time, and that is what you use. You hit them with the jump 2, where your opponent is basically helpless, except for guessing whether you're gonna go into the low attack or whether you're gonna go into the forward 3. Now, of course, there is some balance to this. The balance is that, first of all, you're wasting damage. You're not finishing the combo properly, so you are still sacrificing a bar, but you're getting a lot less damage. If your opponent blocks correctly, not only did you give up your advantage, but you technically wasted a meter as well. The other balancing factor to this is that his overhead, is basically reactable on any character. Batman, and again, every character in the game has a reactable overhead. So that's the second part of where the balance comes from, but you can also go into a throw. You can go into this, which is technically not an overhead starter, and of course you have this godlike string. So you definitely want to look into this. I wouldn't say this is a technique you should use all the time, because sometimes it is worth going for more damage. However, this in and of itself is a mix-up. You hit them with this and your opponent has to guess, is he gonna go for the restand or is he gonna go ahead and finish the combo? So that in and of itself is a mix. So let's go into some other characters that have this type of special moves. Poison Ivy is one. Harlequin is one. That's the ones I can think of the top of my head right now. Oh, Firestorm. How could I forget? Of course, Firestorm has one. So, as I mentioned, not all characters have restanding special moves. However, there are some characters that instead have restanding normals. You can always test whether a move restands or not by hitting your opponent in the air and then using the move. And if it leaves them in this standing state, it's a restand. Gorilla Grodd is one of those special cases where he can go into a special move from his restanding move and he can get the jump 2. And going into a jump 2 is always going to be better. He basically works on the same principle as what I showed with Batman, except Grodd doesn't actually need to end in a special move. Of course, the balance with him is, again, that his overhead is reactable and that he needs to spend meter on this to loop you. So again, he can't just loop you forever. However, he can get some decent stuff off of this. Now, the characters that have restanding normals include Grodd, Blue Beetle, Supergirl, Atrocitus has one. Let's go ahead and quickly switch over to Blue Beetle because we definitely want to show him off. Here his restanding move is his back one. Now, of course, Blue Beetle is not as powerful because he cannot get into a jump 2 from this state. And if you look at this move in the move list, the hit advantage is only +3. So if you hit your opponent with this move, you definitely don't have the same kind of options as if you hit them with a jump. That does limit Blue Beetle's options and all the other like Supergirls and Atrocituses. However, you can still try for a mix. Just be aware that there is a chance that your opponent is gonna be able to backdash. Backdashing, by the way, is the main way to get out of restands. However, that is exactly the reason why restands are incredibly powerful in the corner. Because here, they cannot backdash. And you can go into your overhead and go overhead low. You get the idea. You definitely want to use this with Blue Beetle because he's a character that deals low damage anyways. So if you have a chance to restand your opponent and go into a mix, you can add a significant damage to your combo. I mean, even something like this will add quite a bit, especially since if you go for a restand and you hit them with something, oops, I did that again, the combo scaling resets. If you don't know, Injustice and all NRS games have combo scaling where the longer your combo goes, the less damage it does. In fact, all fighting games have that. So again, restands do reset the combo scaling meter. You can hit that, by the way. I have hit that before, and that is something you definitely should go for and then go into something. Especially if you have the claws out. So that is just kind of some basics on restands. If you play one of the characters that has it, definitely look into using it because it is very powerful. I mean, especially with Grodd, it's pretty much a must. With Grodd, it's really integral to his gameplay. So yeah, it's a really interesting technique, worth using. Again, if you're getting annoyed by someone who just keeps restanding you, just remember that the best option is to backdash. If you're playing against one of the characters like Grodd or Batman who does this, you basically have to guess. There is no way around it. Sometimes in NRS games you just have to guess between overheads and lows. Hope you enjoyed this advanced tutorial for Injustice 2. If you did, make sure to like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot of Injustice 2 content on my channel and a lot more coming. Thanks for watching and goodbye.